a representation of a person. This face. When something happens to a person, an experience happens to a person, this is the experience or a trigger. When it happens to a person, this person, oh sorry, this writing is supposed to come here and then. So after an experience happens to a person or a trigger, then this person will give the experience a meaning. When whatever happens to you as an individual, you give it a meaning. You interpret it in a certain way. And that interpretation, we call it distortion. Distortion, this second one. We call it distortion. What does it mean? Distortion is when something happens to two different individuals, and then these two different individuals will interpret and give the meaning to this situation based on who they are. So whatever happens to you, you will first of all look at it, and then you experience it based on your upbringing, based on the kind of environment you grew up from, and then based on your significant emotional experiences in life. Whatever happens to you is based on this. The meaning you give to that incident will make you think in a certain way. How you would think about the experience. I hope I'm communicating. It will give birth to your thoughts, and your thoughts will graduate into your feelings, how you feel about the situation. It all starts from the thoughts. Everything you experience starts from the thoughts. What do you think about it? The earlier example we used was when somebody should say "waka" to me. The kind of meaning how I will distort it and how another person will give a meaning to it is totally different. The meaning you will give to what I'm saying is different from the meaning you give to what I'm saying. It's the same experience, but then different views, different perspectives. Do you understand? That's distortion. Then generalization. Have you heard all women are crazy or all men are cheats? All women are dumb, yes?
All men are the same.
All men are the same. All Igbos are
Cheating.
love money. All TVs are
Harry.
I've never had
Just
that.
telling that
Really?
one.
What I know is that they love women.
Yeah.
I know that they love women. So that's generalization. Some experiences will happen to you and you then generalize it. All these things are kaza. You just generalize. You understand? So that's what I'm trying to explain to this. That's what you have AS. Reticular activation system. Yes. So when these experiences happen to you, you start thinking about them. The way you think about them is also based on this. Your upbringing, the kind of environment that you grew up from, and then your significant emotional experiences. That's why you see some people, it's nothing much that has happened to them, but they keep thinking about it. They keep thinking about it. And those thoughts would make you feel a certain way. Give birth to a feeling, whether positive or negative. So the way you are feeling will then arise to the kind of behavior you exhibit. Do you understand? I'll give you more examples. Then we call this internal filters. Together, they are 7. Together, these 7 filters makes up a person's mindset. You hear people saying that this person has a mindset too. It's based on this. Where do we get these internal filters from? From our upbringing, again, from the environment we grew up from our significant emotional experiences. So these internal filters, what do they do to us? They are the reasons why we see things the way we see them. We view life as who we are. This is who we are. While growing up, what is the belief that you have about marriage when you were growing up? What belief do you have about marriage?
Bed of
Bed of roses.
roses.
Well, is that empowering or disempowering? Because beliefs could be empowering and they could be disempowering. I want to believe that they are empowering. Yeah, that one is empowering. Very good. What beliefs do you have about yourself? What beliefs? Do you believe that you're a good person or not? What? Okay, so what do you believe about your husband?
Those are people that have gone through emotional abuse. That do what? You believe that you are not good enough.
You are not good. So that is a disempowering belief.
You're not a good person. You're not a good person.
So now, what?
Only when you
We are going to use this in the context of marriage. What beliefs do you have about your spouse? The kind of beliefs you have about your spouse will give rise to the kind of behavior you will have towards him. You will show towards him. The kind of beliefs you have about him. If you believe that your husband is a good person, can you see it now? If you believe that he's a good person, then you are going to behave in a positive way towards him. You understand? And that will give you your results. Whether a happy marriage or a good marriage or whatever marriage. And if you have a negative belief about your husband, you behave negatively towards him. And that's the result you get. It's a triangle of life. So if you change your belief about whatever it is, you will change your behavior towards it, and then your results will change. So while growing up, maybe you saw your parents having a very good relationship. So the belief you have about marriage is that all men and women have a very good relationship. All men are nice. Is that true? It may be true to you and it could be not so true.
Because of what someone experiences from firsthand.
Yes. Yes. So beliefs are what we hold to be true for us. Our beliefs are what we hold to be true for us. And some beliefs cannot be changed. Yes. That's if you know how to do it. So many people are stuck because of their beliefs about so many things. So to get them to change, like now we were just discussing about marital whatever, intimacy. Some men, as we know, they have the belief that they are okay. You understand? Someone mentioned that in the earlier class. Men are okay. That's why they don't seek help, even if they need a problem, because they have the belief that I am okay. You understand? So is that belief empowering for the man who thinks that he is okay when he is not? It's not. It's a disempowering belief. Values are what we hold important in our lives. Values are where we spend our time, money, energy. I want to believe that while you are here is because your marriages are important to you. That's why you are here. You want to better your relationships with your spouses. That's why you are here. If it is not important to you, I have a friend who is my best friend. This is not important to her. You can't find her here. If something is your value, you are always thinking about it. You can spend no matter how much it is on that thing. So how do we know something is your value? Where you spend your money, where you spend your time, what you think about all the time, what keeps you awake, you know? When you are thinking about something all the time, it could be that it's your value. I want to believe that all your relationships are valuable to you. That's why you chose to be here. Then attitudes. What attitudes do you have? Your attitudes will make you or break you. Remember, we're talking about all of this in the context of marriage. So your attitude towards marriage will either make you or break you. What attitudes do you have? Or what attitudes do you need to stop to have a better relationship? What attitudes do you need to develop now to have a better relationship? You need to sit down and do the work. The next one is decisions. While growing up, whether we like it or not, we have made some certain decisions right from childhood. And even now, as we speak, you've already made some decisions in your lives, whether positive or not positive, whether empowering or disempowering decisions. What empowering decisions do you have or have you made in your marriage? And what disempowering decisions have you made that you need to stop for your relationship to be good? Then memories is another type of internal filter, the way you view the world. Your memories are a snapshot of your realities, and your memories are not always true. Maybe your husband has done something to you and you hold the memory, and all you can think of is that memory, is that thing. Maybe the way you saw that thing happens is not the way he meant it. But then you keep the memory alive in your head. You keep thinking about it, you keep feeling sad, and then you behave bad towards him. Language. Language is one of the most important filters, and when you don't have a language for something, you can't experience it. When you don't have a language for something, you cannot experience it. For example, let's say peace. What is peace in Hausa or in any language? What's peace in your language? Alafia. Okay, so assuming you don't have that word for peace, can you experience peace in your life? You don't know it, so how can you experience it? So what languages do you have for your marriage? Peace? Love? Because if you don't have this, you cannot experience them. I hope you all know a book called Five Love Languages. Have you read them? It's part of what we make our to-be couples read. You know, we do premarital counseling. The 5 love languages. I think we should do a lecture on it, even if this one's because if you don't know your love language, how can your husband know what you love? And how can he act the way you want him to act towards you? You don't even know your own love language. How do you expect him to know what's important to you in your marriage? There are 5 different types of love language. There are words of affirmation. If your love language is words of affirmation, all you want to hear every time, all the time is, you know I love you.
It's very important.
It's very important. So it can be that that's your love language.
Might not be to another person. Some people they don't want to say.
Some other person's love language could be keeping company, quality time. Yes, keeping company of their spouse, always being around. You sit next to me all the time. Some other person's what do you call it? Love language could be gifts. How do I know my husband loves me when he buys me lots and lots of gifts? It could be that's your love language, and we all have them. It's not that I have only one love language. We all have them, but then you have a predominant one, the most important to you. Meta programs. This is very, very important. Meta programs is a kind of internal filter that makes you know how a person relates with things. With how does he think when certain things happen? They are thoughts and behavioral context-dependent patterns. It's too technical. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. Meta programs are meta programs are context-dependent thoughts and behavioral patterns. What do I mean by that? Every person reacts to things in a certain way. When something happens to you, you're thinking about it. It's always the same. If that thing keeps happening, that's the same way you are going to think about it. And sometimes when things happen to you, you are going to behave in a certain way. So, for example, when somebody slaps you, why do I keep using this example? And I've never been slapped. I pray I never get a slap one. Yeah. For example, if you are slapped, how will you behave in that
Maybe
situation?
my reflexes at that point in time.
So that is your mental program. Whatever behavior you're going to, exhibit that time, that's your mental program. When something is said to you, maybe a negative thing, how you are going to think about it is your mental program. How people react to time is a mental program. For example, we have an in-time person and we have a true-time person. An in-time person is someone who is like, he gets absorbed in the moment. Like when you say, let's go shopping mall, let's do window shopping. You forget that he's there for window shopping. He can say from morning till night. Oh, just enjoying the moment. He's an in-time person. They're always late. And then a true time person, let's go. I'm in a hurry. I can't wait. You understand? So when you don't understand all of this in regards to your relationship with your spouses, you get problems. How does your husband react if you are late? For example, many husbands don't like it when they are going out with their wives. In fact, it's the number one reason why many men don't go out with their wives together. You see a husband, he's an in-time person, he's already in the car. You are there, maybe still doing makeup.
And he's deciding what to wear, sir.
Deciding what to wear. It means he's an in-time person and you are a true time, and nobody is wrong. That's just who we are. That's our personality. So if you have all this understanding, you know that, oh, my wife, she is always like this. She's an in-time person. She's there, So then you just settle with that and accept the reality. That's who she is. In fact, by 5, she's still there making up. Even if you told her that it's 4 o'clock, by 5, you still find her doing something. She's not ready yet. It's not that she's a bad person. It's because that's who she is. So many of our spouses are not bad, but that's just who they are. Earlier on, I don't know if some of you were not here. For those of us that are here, I explained that some men, you see some men behaving in a certain way, and then you blame them. You start saying that this person is a bad husband, this person is this and that. Have you ever thought of how he was raised? The kind of family he comes from? The kind of background he came from? The upbringing he got? Even your sister or your brother from the same mother, same father, you don't act the same way. You don't behave the same way. You don't think the same way. You have totally 2 different personalities. So how do we expect our husbands to be who we want them to be in just a day? They cannot, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. I have an empty bottle with me. Can I pour from it? I can't, because I don't have water inside. So how can I pour water? I don't have it. So if your husband doesn't have love, he was not raised in a loving way, how can you expect him to show you love? He can't, because he doesn't know how to do it. Everybody is doing the best they can with the best they know and with the resources available to them. So it's now left for you to understand, so what does this man want in his life? What does he mean? What does he take to be love? What is his understanding of love? How does he want me to love him? So how do you know your husband's love language? You ask them if you don't know it. Habibi, what will it take for you to know that I love you? What do you want me to do so that you know that I love you? He'll tell you. If you do this, if you do that. My husband is always telling me, so I know his love language. Do this for me, do that. If you do this, That's perfect. That's all I want from you. That is love language. Then it's left for you to start doing business.
What are the ones I don't tell you but expect you to?
Then you pay attention. If you spend some time with someone, you get to know it even if they don't tell you. You get to know what do they do to you. If a person is always buying you gifts, that could be their love language. So you too, what you should do in return is buy them gifts. If a person is the type that wants acts of service, when you are doing something, you say, "Let me help you." He'll come and help you. So his love language is acts of service. So whenever you see him doing anything, you go, "Let me help you." Oh, don't even wait for him to do it. What can I do for you? Is there anything you want me to do for you? Ask. If a person's love language is touch, you see him, you find all over touching you. And it doesn't have to be an intimate touch. It will be even outside. You are going out, you are in the mall, he is holding your hand. You reach to your hand and hold you. Or he just come when he wants to talk to you and wrap his arm around you. You know that his love language is touch. So whenever you are addressing such a person, you need to go close to him. Or all the time when you see him sitting down, he's not there. Go close to him. Whenever you want to touch somebody, whenever I want to talk to someone, just touch him to wrap your. The way he does to you, that's the way he wants you to do it to you. If it is spending quality time, you will find him at home all the time. You will see some women saying, my husband is all over me. Every time he's at home. In fact, the women are even sending the man, go out and meet fellow men like you. But he's always at home now. I think Ustaz is his own is. I can see him laughing. Yes. You see him all around you. You know. I know someone who said she can't go out to visit her family members to even gossip. I said, why do you have to gossip? He said, let's talk now that I need to do with my siblings. But he's always around. We go together, and if I'm in the parlor, you follow me. At first, they were having confusion. She thought that he was suspecting she was doing something. So you need to understand yourself first before you seek to understand others. Understand yourself first. It all starts by knowing who you are, self-awareness. If you know who you are, then that will give you an insight into who others are.